types of security threats do businesses face that penetration testing can help mitigate?
Password attacks, insider threats, account takeovers, malware, ransomware, data breaches, web application attacks, social engineering, APT or advanced persistent threat, 0 days, and so on. There's a lot. I'll drill in a little deeper into each. One common threat is various password attacks, such as password stuffing. So when a user's password is leaked in some way and an attacker will try it against multiple sites and accounts. Another is password spraying, trying a small set of predictable passwords. Or even brute force password attacks, so trying a ton of passwords very quickly. Our external network penetration test addresses these attacks. Another threat was insider threat. So an employee that goes rogue or is bribed to do something nefarious within your network. Or a related scenario, an attacker gains access, remote access into your network, such as through an account takeover, and through that employee's access, takes over other systems and data. Our internal network pen test helps with both of those scenarios. Our internal network pen test also helps to identify weaknesses that are often exploited during, let's say, a ransomware attack or malware infection. Ransomware, of course, being something that you hear about in the news a lot, where a company has to pay millions of dollars or they lose all of their data. Speaking of data, data breaches are another threat. Again, you hear about this daily in the news. Example, a web application vulnerability being exploited to compromise user data and then perhaps use that data as leverage during an extortion attack. Or perhaps just sell the data to the highest bidder. We have tested some very well-known web and mobile applications where we were able to extract user data through various vulnerabilities. So it's very common to find these issues in web applications. There are a whole host of web application attacks from cross-site scripting, SQL injection, server-side request forgeries, and so on. I won't get too far in the weeds into those, but our web application penetration testing covers that. Social engineering is another common attack vector. Ways an attacker tricks someone into doing something that will grant them access to systems or data, such as having the victim download something or enter their password somewhere. There's email-based social engineering, known as phishing, or phone-based or SMS text-based, and so on. Our various social engineering services addresses all of these and more. APT, or advanced persistent threats. Depending on your industry, you may have a real threat here. Almost everyone in the industry agrees if someone like an attacker is motivated enough and has enough time, they absolutely will get into your environment at some point, no matter how secure you are. Thus, it's important to be able to at least detect various elements of an attack, since it's impractical to stop 100% of all attackers. Our red teaming services, specifically technique simulation, are a really great way to ensure your detections are solid. Another common threat are 0 days, a vulnerability that is known to exist, but a patch does not yet exist. You hear about this all the time in the news a lot as well. Hey, the iPhone is under attack, but an update is not yet available. And, patch as soon as it's available, right? That period of time is called a 0 day until that update is available. It's hard to defend against 0 days directly, but through layered security, you stand a much better chance of detecting at least a portion of that attack, if not stopping it. That is where you would want to utilize a combination of our services, external and internal network penetration testing, for example, as well as red teaming and perhaps a few others depending on your environment.